Good evening, everybody. We're back with Group 1 for, well, a little bit of a complicated situation. One of our players had an unfortunate change. Well, it might be fortunate because now he's got a slightly different work schedule and is no longer going to be able to play with us, which causes me no end of sadness. Um, Puts us in a little bit of an interesting situation for us to deal with things. Um, as of the moment of this recording and the uploading, I am currently looking for 1 to 2 people to fill in the spot. I have made posts on the Roll20 page, the Shadowrun subreddit. You'll probably have seen it around. If you for some reason have not, please put it in the comment section of this video, and then I will contact you with stuff about how to get everybody together. Here's a little bit of the deal. The goal of this project is to generate more people playing Shadowrun, help more people ease into the GMing chair, and just kind of have a little fun along the way, I guess. The goal was never for me to be a long-term GM, so whoever is going to want to express interest into joining us in these little events should be willing to sit in that chair. At the very least, being willing to sit in that chair will give you a higher priority in me picking you up, because at the end of the day, I'm going to need somebody to do that. I've been umming a lot. So that leads us to our second complication that we have of you guys were in the process of maybe getting a job, and we decided to take a break based upon that situation for Omega, who sadly had to leave us due to work, to check out the video and see what he thought about going on the job. Now that we have officially lost him, at least temporarily, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, I think we still take the job.
You just want the money.
I mean, don't we all?
I realize that life is more than money, so hey. But that's just me.
Everybody is involved in this decision, so they are more than welcome to comment. Unless everybody suddenly got camera shy.
Or got muted.
Or got muted.
I lost internet connection and I just got back, so if someone tells me I missed something.
I'm gonna see about boosting the sound of Skype, because you're really quiet there, Fenway.
Is this better? I'm trying not to breathe into the mic at all. I don't like this headset.
Yeah, it's better for now. We'll suffer through. But yeah, what do you guys? Splatter has mentioned he feels that you guys can still do the job. I had a bit of a conversation with Rico. I don't know what he wants to do. Which I guess maybe if he wants to talk about that a little bit, now would be a good time. Psst, that's you. It's a cue.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hey guys, I'm Rico. Oh yeah, so how do I do this? Hey guys.
No, like...
Rico might be going on a vacation?
I mean, that's kind of what we're here to do. You talked to me about a couple of things, so maybe.
Oh yeah, I had a couple crazy ideas.
Maybe now broach it to the rest of the team that you have sitting here in a more public setting, kind of thing.
How would you like to not have Rico?
I mean, I'd be kind of sad. I like Rico.
I mean, what do you mean?
Because I kind of found out how to make some things on Tremor, and I'm like, ooh, this sounds fun. So I made like 2 different other ideas.
I think I'm in a similar boat. I think I made a pretty cool face, but that's besides the point.
And on top of that, like Rico and Splatter are like almost the same. So I'm like, we can branch out a little into something different, so we can diversify and not have overlapping team roles in such a small team.
Okay, so we got one player who was going to be the GM who is gone, and now we got 2 players who want to switch characters, and we have a run that we don't know if we can do. So I'm thinking either one of 2 things happens. Either we take this run and don't care if it goes completely to crap, because if we kill off all the characters, well, we'll just throw in new characters. Or 2, I'm happy with handles and going forward, so I could just say handle says screw you guys, I'm going home, and goes and finds him a new group, which is and says, hey Spotter, you should come with me, and we just go and find a new group which would be populated by you guys and the new guys.
I mean, what I was going to say was I assist all you guys in committing seppuku because dishonored your clans or your groups, and then you guys can make new characters, and handles can watch if you want.
From my understanding, Fenway was just playing around with the character creation stuff. I will admit, when you talked to me a little bit and I mentioned a little bit, I'm pretty sure I was elbow deep in Pokemon. So,
yeah, I figure it needs a little bit more work before it's ready. But Fenway can easily always disappear and just hang out with the Scatterbrainer, so it's easy for him to quasi-retire.
So, based upon the fact that we're probably going to pick up 1 to 2 new people, perhaps we should not exactly. Now we're getting your seductive breathing. Since we're going to be picking up hopefully 1 or 2 more people between now and this time next week, we could not mess around too much with the character switching, because that'll give us more options when it comes to bringing in new folks as to what they have available to them, and you guys can bounce off new concepts off of each other, that kind of thing. How does that sound as an idea?
I like it. I also like going out in a blaze of glory. So hey,
I mean, we could always get real crazy, and we could go say that you guys changed your mind and decided to handle that Rico thing in California.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say, because it sounds like it's gonna be like way more crazy than like subtle quiet run.
Well, there's any number of things. Like, I've been GMing on the hub for like 2 years now. I can easily put you guys through something simple tonight, or we can talk harder about this, or you guys can make the effort at attempting this job, and we'll see where that goes. And
I'm actually like I like to do the original run with the 100K payoff, because it sounds like
it is also possible that you guys could get started on that run with some legwork and stuff, and be like, you know what? Some characters might be like, yeah, no, I'm walking away. You guys keep my money. You're more than welcome to do whatever you want with this. And then you guys could easily hire on more help. I'm making bunny ears, but I don't know if that's coming across in my voice and inflections.
oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, whatever everyone wants to do, because I'm cool with anything, really.
It is also possible that Rico just ends up with a bullet in his head and a pinky finger being cut off, and that's how he exits the game, and Rico, not Rico, comes in.
Eesh. I don't know. I mean, I can stay with Rico because I like Rico. He's fun.
Right, now I'm just saying, because you have, what, like 3 or 4 other ideas in your head that you tried putting to paper in some form or another?
Yes, I did.
So, remind me at some point to show you my my giant character folder.
Ooh.
Full of half-baked ideas and craziness. So do you guys want to start the initial stuff for the run that I began with, or what do you guys want to do? I think we're pretty into the idea of continuing on with these characters until we figure out who/what will be joining us. Does that sound like plan one, part one of plan accomplished?
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Okay.
I mean, yep.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to stick with these characters for the time being. Question 2 is, do you want to go on the run that I started proposing to you? Or do you want to do a different run? Or do you want to do a downtime thing?
I'm up for downtime thing, different run, but I'll do the first run if everyone wants to. That's what everyone wants to do.
The first run.
Handles, Fenway?
I think if we do the legwork for the first run, it's going to be rather short.
You were super quiet again. But I stressed to hear that you said if we do the legwork for the first run, it's going to be rather short. Not going to lie, kind of aiming for, under the situation, for this to be a little bit of a shorter episode anyway, so that like a long run is going to run into, as so far we've seen, kind of like 2 sessions. So that might be just a little bit awkward for next week if we do get new people in, which can easily just be explained away by you guys hiring in new help, which is totally a thing that happens. The Arcology podcast episode that just dropped literally had that happen, as he just added 2 new folks there.
I haven't caught up to the Arcology podcast yet. I mean, they've got like a bunch. I'm like really at the starting, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's do a super dark short run or lighthearted short run. I mean,
I have an idea for a potential short run, if you guys want to do that.
I'd rather do that. I mean, we didn't get to play last week, and everything is going to be in flux for next week anyway, so I'd rather just do something self-contained if we could.
We totally played last week, didn't we? It was the week before
we did.
that we missed.
Oh.
Because that was when people were sick.
Okay, never mind. Well, yeah, but last week we had Omega went out early and we didn't. Yeah, but anyway.
He went out early. We jumped into the meat for this run. There was a lot of discussion on people whose sack shrunk up and shriveled off.
Yep, I agree. I was just going to make that point. Some people chickened the fuck out.
So I'm shooting. I would say shooting for something that self-contained that we could start and end tonight if possible.
Sure. In that case, we will put the meat from last week into the ether for a moment, and if when bringing in new people, that will perhaps be the run after you guys do a run together, just so you guys have that opportunity to intermix with each other and that kind of stuff. And I'll let you know how I had an idea for this whole thing ending with Omega becoming GM and me bowing out. Is he has a brother that works for Ares, and I was totally going to hire you guys to extract the brother, but I believe they are twins, so it was going to be a Johnson who was like, I need you to extract this person. But the Johnson is one of those like intermediary people, so he doesn't know who you're extracting, and you don't, and he was going to hand you a data chip, and when you guys opened up the data chip, it was going to have fucking Cross's face right there. I need you to extract him.
And we just donate Cross.
I mean, you could. Or you could go get his brother. Or he could take one for the team to go work for a different megacorp. It'd have been real interesting.
I mean, it would have been crazy, right? Because that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Something about corp-limited sins being negative qualities and having them come back to haunt you.
Who would have thought?
Right? He'd end up working for a dragon. It'd been fine. So, alright then. We will alternate reality time skip here back to where let's say it was Hernando who no, let's not do it Hernando. Um who who did you guys end up selling the vampires to?
Not my contact.
That's basically where I was going.
Um,
Who's contacting?
I don't think we sold it to the contact. We sold it to the vampire hunters. I'm pretty sure.
No, we sold it to some unnamed entity, I think. I was paying 10K a pop.
Yeah, that was the vampire hunters, right? They gave us the bounty of like.
No, pretty sure we stole from the vampire hunters.
We stole and then.
Technically, yes, you stole them from the vampire hunters.
And then we sold them back. Guys, we're brilliant.
I mean, it's a classic con, right?
Good.
All right. In that case, let me just do the good old-fashioned D4s. This who's going to get a phone call. Splatter will be receiving a phone call. On his work phone being whatever he uses to process his shadowy business. Let's say it is 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening. What is Splatter up to?
Probably catching like a game of Urban Brawl or something.
Sure. So you receive a phone call.
Is a number I recognize?
How good is Splatter's memory?
I don't think it's the best.
Okay. Does he remember people who hand him giant piles of Nuyen?
Not really.
Okay. Then you don't recognize the number.
Fine, I answered. Say hello.
So on the other line is a heavily accented man who I will both butcher and then have a wandering accent for. Do you want to roll me a memory test real quick, and we'll see if anything triggers? That should be logic and willpower. Maybe? Alright. That's a good question. You don't know who this is, but it sounds familiar. You're just having trouble placing it. Friend, I have a job for you.
God damn. Yep.
Are you and your friends looking for money?
Always.
Good, good. Would you be available to meet this evening? Perhaps, midnight.
And where would you like to meet, senor?
How good's your Seattle area knowledge? Because he's going to give you a set of GPS coordinates.
I've got like 7 dice in it.
Okay. It is going to be for a bar/club in the downtown area. If you want to roll it, I will give you more information off the top of my head about it, or like off the top of your head about it. But come over here. All right. So this is very much a. Do you have goths over there?
Nope, but I think I'm familiar with the. I think so. Aren't there like people who want to be like vampire or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking at like every bad vampire movie cliche. So they're gonna be wearing like black leather, very pale faces, dog collars, black fingernails, fake fangs, that kind of thing. You can do a quick Google, and you'll be able to um, get some imagery, which you're gonna be like, oh god damn. And as I Google bad vampire club names, uh, let's go with it's the Knight's Caress. Blech.
It's
Oh
terrible.
God.
And but I mean, great, totally great.
Totally great. Um, so he will say goodbye to you and that he is excited to meet you there. Um, he recommends that you dress appropriately, but it's not required. And then he will hang up.
I think I'll get back to like the rest of my team.
Mhm.
Message them basically saying like we got a Johnson. Not exactly a Johnson. Like I've got a friend who wants to give us a job.
Do you tell them who you might suspect it is?
I mean, I give them detailed instruction as to like who the person is and like to not laugh, especially to Rico. Do not say anything about like whatever, like however odd it seems. Do not say a word. Just like roll with it. Act like it's completely normal.
Gotcha.
And like give like a detailed instruction as to like how odd the person is and how seriously he takes himself. So like take it in your stride and like don't mention it. And like especially to Rico, it's in like capital block letters everywhere, probably like underlined and stressed upon.
It's like, you know what? On second thought, I've deleted that text I was going to send to Rico. He's not getting the message. So I see a matrix search test here. So you get like the address, you get a little bit of um, the lineup and things. It's a whole bunch of bad EDM music, um, which I could give you some names of stuff like for reals if you want it, but I imagine most people don't. Um,
I got Spotify open. Hit me up.
all right, I'll hit you up in a little bit because I can't type out all of these and talk, and I don't want to, content match ID for name of band. But yeah, this is the location, and it's gonna. What do you want to know about it besides the fact that it's a vampire club that is like the bottom level of a three-floor building, kind of in the back, so that normal people don't have to actually participate. Um, the club itself only operates as this style club like 3 nights a week. Let's go Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Mondays. The other nights it's different things. The wonders of AR means that you can very quickly do all the decorating you want and rent the space out for other things. Um, what else would you like to know about it?
Um, who owns it? How long has it been owned by them? And what are the crime statistics for the building and the immediate area around it?
It's in downtown, so the dangerous crimes are fairly low. There's no rampant murder or armed robbery or anything along those lines. Um, the person who owned it is a man named Patrick. He looks Eastern European, tall, long black hair, black trench coat. You guys probably have an idea. I will, if you wish for a last name, I will push my fake name generator.
Nah.
That's cool.
Okay. He doesn't necessarily own the building, but he operates this themed night for the past, let's say, 10 years.
Okay. And no crime reports from the nights where they're running it.
Nothing you see that is like indicative of any actual these people are bad people kind of thing. Like there are crime reports from nights that it operates, but there are crime reports every night. Maybe a mugging, maybe, a drug deal. But
No, I mean associated with the place itself. Like, were there assaults that happened at that location, or
Not really. Nothing
disorderly?
like on the actual location itself. It's kind of what should we call it? I know what there probably have been assaults because I've been to a couple of clubs/bars, and every once in a while, drunk people get in fights.
Yeah. Okay.
So there have probably been a couple of minor assaults, but nothing like um, fireball unleashed kills hundreds of civilians kind of thing.
Yeah. So basically, it sounds like it's a bar, not a shadow bar.
Yes, it is definitely like a normal people situation.
Okay. Well, as normal as goth people can be.
I mean, yes. I'll have you know most of them are quite normal. Maybe.
Just pale.
Actually, I imagine in the sixth world it's probably significantly worse. So, do you guys want to do anything else before you go there? Or does anybody want to get dressed?
Did they tell us what kind of bar it is?
You guys, well, Handels did a matrix search, so he has a whole bunch of information. I imagine he shares that.
I think I'm pretty sure I put up in the message as well, since I know that it's a goth bar to like dress appropriately.
Rico puts on his black trench coat, pops the collar.
Perfect.
Fenway's gonna need a ride.
We don't have one anymore.
No. I'll pick you up. Yeah.
I have a bike.
I mean, I have a car, so I'll pick you up. And anyone else who wants a lift.
I'll Uber.
Sure.
Future Uber, so it's Fuber.
That's not the kind of person you want picking you up, somebody who's Fuber. So, assuming you guys want to do anything else, we'll just zoom until the time of the meet. Anybody want to go to the bar or club early? I mean, it's full of great music and wonderful, interesting people.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go early. One, because I don't think I've seen like goth people before, so I want to learn more and see what they're all about.
Sure.
And secondly, I'm kind of scared that the vampire that we let loose on the city might be roaming there. So
I don't know
just in
any
case
kind of self-respecting vampire that would hang out at a goth club.
I mean, I don't know much about vampires, so I'm figuring for him it's like a buffet or something where these guys would like love to offer themselves like as food or something. I have no idea. That's what I think anyway.
Sure. How early are you going, and are you dressing appropriately?
Nah, I think I'm gonna like dress in my regular sleeping tiger suit and probably like half an hour early. Though actually, since I'm picking up Fenway and Handles, probably just on time, maybe like 15 minutes early.
Sure.
So not that.
Rico, what time are you showing up?
5 minutes late.
All right. So, getting into this place after going through the... Well, is anybody trying to smuggle in guns? Because they are going to give you a pat-down. And you can see a bunch of people giving pat-downs, like, as you go.
Rico is, of course.
All right, we'll get to Rico in a second. Because I can't wait for him to be thrown out. Inside, it is dark, but not, like, pitch black. Flashing lights, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of hot, sweaty bodies all over the place. Somebody besides Splatter want to give me a perception test. And I'm sorry, Splatter, it's because you're short. I guess it could be both of you. Unless you have an idea on who your Johnson is already from what Splatter had said.
Hold on a second. Roll 12.
All right. So with your sensing Fenway, this place feels like a party. There's a lot of energy, some arousal, some anxiety, and just the good feels, man. You will notice that there are a couple of astral forms, maybe a low-powered. Well, one of them is like a low-powered projecting magician who is here, and is just kind of like manifest and is doing his thing. He's a ghost. It's great. Um, were you looking for anything in specific?
For which role? For the Matrix perception?
Vampires.
Or these things?
Uh, you do not see anybody who is dual-natured. But you're just, coming into the main room. Just kind of getting a feel for the place. For your general perception test, how good is Fenway's memory? Especially when vampires are involved?
I have 7 die for that. Do you want me to roll it?
Yeah, let's roll it, and we'll see if you remember. Well, Handles actually got 4 hits now that I'm seeing it here. And Handles has 1,000,000 memory dice, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Handles will spot sitting in the back, on like a little row of couches, there are a couple of people. And in the middle of them is your good buddy Wayne. Do you remember who Wayne was?
I mean, that face still haunts me, so I remember really well. And I like pale and like I'm just cursing to the gods.
Fenway wouldn't either because he ran out when the vampire was about to jump out.
So it is the vampire that is hiring us.
Presumably. You remember he had an Eastern European accent, and he, you guys did him a solid, so he, may refer to you guys as a friend. And there he is, sitting in the back of this club with a couple of what looks like rupees. Just kind of catch him through the mishmash of people walking through.
Would we see the old Johnson at all, or no?
Not that you guys can see right now. What do you guys want to do?
I send everybody an arrow that says "A job's a job?" ?
I mean, I know that's not our guy, right?
What do you mean? Splatter, what do you mean?
I thought that our Johnson was El Uno Grande.
No.
Are you kidding me? Come on, no.
No, sorry. Eastern European, not Aslan. And there was no amigo or any talk of honor. Sorry if you got that impression. Maybe you could do a job for him sometime in the near future, though.
Oh, I want to sit and curl up and cry in a corner for some time. I think I am going to go to the washroom and like, I don't know, wash my face and like give myself a pep talk.
Sure.
On how it's going to be okay.
I'm imagining Splatter next to the meme of "It's a trap."
Man, you guys, we go from one job you guys get scared of to another meet you're scared to even go to.
Hey, I haven't showed up yet.
This is true.
I'm ready to meet.
Sure. You don't want to wait for Rico?
Well, we'll wait for Rico, but I mean, I'm okay with meeting with this guy. I'm rolling my what did I call it? Sorry, HMHVV infected behavior knowledge.
Okay.
So,
I
think that that he could be a legitimate Johnson that was not going to try to drain our blood and make us thralls? That he would just like have a working relationship with us like a normal person?
I mean, you guys kind of basically saved his life because he was in a situation where, like, when you guys found out that shit, there are probably vampires in these boxes, that he woke up from that situation instead of never waking up. So for him to go out of his way to lure you in to feed upon you seems like a lot of unnecessary work when there are literally groupies kind of fawning themselves on him.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, a job's a job. And he kind of owes us. Maybe we'll get good terms.
So, Rico, do you want to go ahead and roll me your palming, and we'll see how well you get through the frisking at the front door.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's 4 hits. All right, let's no, these guys are bouncers. Man, all right. So as long as you haven't gone crazy with the amount of weapons you're trying to smuggle in, you can get in a gun or two.
Did I get the rocket launcher in?
Yes.
Sweet, that's a joke. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I told you yes. So, are you guys going to wait for Rico, or are you going to approach him and tell him that Rico is late, or are you going to... You're going to sit there and panic?
Well, I guess we're waiting for Rico and waiting for Splatter to return from the restroom. Unless, Fenway, you want to just go over there, we could just take care of this ourselves.
Fenway says lead the way because he doesn't recognize the guy.
Sure. So as you guys approach, Handles, you didn't get dressed up or do anything, right?
I'm wearing all black. That
Okay.
was my conceit to the environment.
To the location, sure.
Yes.
So as you approach, he will see you coming, and he will kind of wave off his floozies and begin to stand up and have a giant fanged smile on his face. My friends, come. He motions for you to come and sit with him at the little table here as he kind of shoos away another floozy or two. There's a woman there who is passed out. Probably just drunk. She doesn't have any like bite marks or blood dripping off of her anywhere, but he kind of like slightly delicately, but still just kind of shoves her aside onto one of the other couches. Welcome, welcome. Please sit. We have much to discuss.
You're looking better than last time I saw you. Got a little more color.
Big smile. I feel much better, friends. Do you guys sit? Do you guys want to order anything to drink, or are you guys just going to kind of get right down to business?
Sit, and I guess how far out are the other two? I'm sitting on arrows going, we're sitting with the Johnson. You guys going to join us?
Yep, I've made my way, realizing that job's a job and I'm supposed to be a professional and kind of be a little hypocrite if I like not do it when I've been like at Rico's back for like not acting professional. So
you just had to go potty.
Myself
it was a convenient timing issue, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Not at all to do with your nerves. So he'll I have a proposition for you. And then he's gonna. Wasn't there more? I seem to recall at least one other.
Where's Rico?
Oh, I'm here. Sup? Sorry, pretty girl at the bar.
He'll give you a big smile. There are many pretty girls. Sit, sit. We have many things to discuss. Rico, that's a vampire. You cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you wanted to be like wearing crosses or anything along those lines, or
No.
okay. How have you been? I have not kept my ears to the ground.
We've been busy.
Good, good. I hope that business was good. So, that is why we are here tonight. I have business for you. I find myself needing your help again. You have not paid much attention to the news, have you?
Nah, it's all lies anyway.
Well, we were watching a lot, I know, to see if the gang war was going to blow up in our face. Would we have run across whatever it is he is referring to?
Maybe. Do you have any kind of like news-related skill, or you want to make a dice roll, and we'll see if you can, see what you can come across?
Yeah, I got. I mean, the HMHVV infected behavior is about the only thing that might be relevant. None of it is news.
This is
Yeah.
this is not relevant to that.
Okay.
There was a small article I saw, and he'll send you over a data file. Which, assuming that you open it, is going to be a death notice for a Lynn Tilly, the supervisor from the docks where you stole the boxes from. It's simply just like a time of funeral, that kind of thing, and there aren't really any details about how she died. Just, it's such a tragic loss for such a young woman. Friends and family should contact here, etc., etc. The actual funeral was a couple of days ago.
And this was the one
This was the supervisor.
Okay, yeah, I remember her. Interesting.
She was an elf, right?
Yes.
Are you saying that her death was untimely? Or not of natural causes?
He'll flash you a toothy smile. Sadly, yes. How to put this delicately? The travel agents who arranged my transport previously, well, they miss me and mine dearly. Chances are they found out not quite what happened, but felt her responsible, and, well, accidents do happen to people, as I'm sure you're aware.
So the vampire hunters are on your trail?
I would not call them vampire hunters. And he gives kind of like an eye roll, like, clearly such a crazy thing couldn't exist, right? Fanatics, maybe. So I need you to kill someone. Cover my tracks.
The hunter that's after you?
And at this point, you guys can roll some perception tests if you want. Don't worry, it's not nearly so bad as you might immediately think it is.
Guys, I'm sorry, it's the Yakuza.
I perceive.
That's good. So, Handles, you will notice a woman is approaching you from off to the side, back by like where the bathrooms were. looking at her, you will notice that it is a heavily make-upped, like not to disguise her identity, but to fit in with the club atmosphere. Um, you're Johnson from your job. She's wearing a very in fashion for this location dress. She is very pale, very bright blood red lips, exotic, excessive eye makeup, crazy hairstyle, belts, uh, little dog collar thing complete with leash, and she is walking over to you where you are sitting.
Rika leans over to the Johnsons and is like, "Is she the one you want us to get rid of?"
So he's gonna shoot you a smile. Yes, but there are more details.
Sweet. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't be excited.
So he will kind of let that situation hang for a moment as she reaches over to where you guys are having your little meeting, and she sits down and kind of leans all up on him as, you know, teenage lovers. No, you will be killing me.
She says that.
She says that.
Oh, Lord. Faking your death or putting you in the ground?
Preferably only faking.
I see.
It has to look good enough to, shall we say, throw them off our scent. And then she'll turn and kind of like lean her head against him and begin to draw her finger idly across his chest so that we can go away and be together forever. He'll put an arm possessively around her. Kiss her on the top of her head and give you guys an eye, like a raised eyebrow.
Okay.
I mean, you probably don't have somebody that is the same size and shape, at least amongst your team. What with them being male?
Well, we couldn't leave a body anyway. Because of DNA stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of ways we could do this if we were actually going to fake it, shoot it with her with blood capsules in a public place and leave some of her real blood behind. You know, but we can't leave a body. We can't just fake a body. If these people are really looking, they would go check the body.
It doesn't need to be foolproof, just long enough.
I send everybody an arrow. So not saying this out loud, but saying I'm not sure that her version of what's supposed to happen here and his version are exactly the same based on the raised eyebrows and the comments ahead of time. This may or may not be fake.
So I do get a killer? This is in text.
Don't suppose we could ask while she's sitting here.
Fenway's wondering how am I going to try to angle more money if it... Yeah.
So how public does this have to be? How do you need this to go down?
Well, that is why we have decided to call you. The fanatics are somewhat resourceful, but dependent upon your creativity and your own individual expertise, we're sure that you could come up with something that we wouldn't have thought of. And then he's going to come in and be like, after all, I am no monster. As his fucking accent is all over the place. Jesus Christ.
We haven't discussed compensation. You're essentially asking us whether we're actually killing somebody or not to do a public act of what will appear to be murder, and you're also drawing us back in to conflict with a group that may want to do us harm for our previous association.
He's gonna look a little hurt, but friends, I have no real options else to turn to. I understand my comrades in boxes met with a much worse end. Yet, you seem to be loyal to the Nuyans, as that is what procured my safety over theirs.
Indeed. And we can procure your safety again, but let's talk about those new yens.
What is the time frame we're looking at also?
Well, a few days would be preferable if there was something particularly artistic you had in mind. We could prolong our travel plans a little bit.
So, Splatter should have his comm code, right? So he should be able to send him a text. Is that right?
Yeah, you could totally send a text to him.
So I'm gonna send a text to Splatter. Can you ask him via text if this is, put her in the ground or fake?
Oh man. Yeah, I do that. Oh god,
Yeah, right there, Splatter. You sound a little worrisome. Almost as if you feel bad about this whole situation.
I mean, I do feel bad, but like what's going through my head is that like if we keep associating with this vampire, pretty soon he'll be talking to another group of friends and having us dealt with.
I mean, maybe only if you upset him. You've been very helpful to him recently. So he'll get that brief look in AR as he receives your message, and he'll give another big grin, and he'll begin to like idly just kind of stroke her back, and he'll send you a message of, "She has not begun to bore me yet, so preferably just faking, but if accidents happen, I won't be too upset." And he just kind of gives you a big smile.
Yeah, and I forward that to like the rest of the group.
So you won't mind if we collect some samples at a more discreet location in order to make the job look more professional and to cover your tracks and give you a little bit more time. That would be acceptable, yes?
That's a spoken or that's a sent text thing?
Oh, this is spoken to him about basically getting blood samples from her and stuff like that.
So as he's like, yes, you will have our full cooperation. And he'll kind of give her a squeeze, and like, of her samples, they won't be good for much longer, and then we'll finger under the chin, lift her face up, and give her a kiss. Which, as you are, as handles as a medically capable person and has some HMHVB knowledge, becoming infected will totally mess up with your genetics. So, ritual samples probably won't be super good after the actual transformation is completed.
Okay, so if we take her blood now, we can convince for like DNA purposes that, oh, that really is her blood. They can look it up and check it, but they're not going to be able to get a bead on her anymore because she won't be that person.
After like the infection and HMHVV transformation, the bits and pieces that you use to fake whatever murder or whatever you guys are going to do are not going to be valid ritual magic things, so they won't be able to use them to hunt her down and that kind of stuff. But assuming that they don't get like, if you throw a bunch of blood in the dirt, it probably won't be too good for checking versus her sin. You can get like pretty close to her DNA, like close enough for CSI work, but it wouldn't, like, you threw it in a pile of dirt. So whereas if it's on a nice linoleum floor, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is great stuff. Let's do it.
So also, even now, it's possible to amplify DNA. It's what they do in CSI if they have just a little bit to get enough to do a sample. So if we took her blood, we could manufacture a much larger volume of her DNA analog. I think I have the skills to do that.
While you might have the skills, do you have the place?
Not necessarily, but that kind of technology isn't like super duper duper secured. So a little mini run to do that might ensure success on the bigger run.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility of how we could do it with no blood, or how we could do it with no body.
How do you feel about a car accident?
It would leave a body
in a river.
Well, if it blew up or it went in the river, then there's always the guys following might go, oh, she faked her death, because there's no body. There's no verifiable way to know that she is dead.
I was thinking along the lines of something a bit more gruesome, that if there's a part that has basically like an arm or something that's unidentifiable because it's been burned or damaged, and there's a whole bunch of her blood around also. It looks a bit gruesome, but it would probably send the message that she's no more.
Of course, then
murder her in her apartment and burn.
See, I was thinking we stage something in front of like a public traffic cam kind of thing, like an altercation, and mimic gunning her down, and then letting her stay there for a while, like 10 or 15 minutes, and then another vehicle come by and take the body away, but we leave the splattered blood all over the pavement. And it will look like she got killed, and we won't have to expose ourselves much. Let the blood do all the work for us.
But wouldn't her body go missing be another towel?
It might be, but we could also lay down a fake trail to make it look like it was a ganger who shot her, and they were just coming back to dispose of the body. I mean, we could fabricate a believable story around that. That we had control. If we did it in a bad area, we could even control the neighbors calling in the shots after it didn't matter, and we could fabricate a whole story with like zero risk if we had real blood or good DNA.
I will also remind you guys that she is a higher class person, so her randomly being in some place like Touristville or the Barrens is going to be a little weird to just kind of gun her down in a bad part of town that she doesn't like go to on the regular.
Or we could stage a kidnapping and then having her running away like in bonds and getting shot in front of the camera. So it looked like we kidnapped her for money and she escaped, and then they had to gun her down. And again, do the same kind of thing, but we could the pre-kidnapping would make it look even more authentic.
I mean, but wouldn't the Baron run make sort of sense, since she, like, the people we're trying to fool are the ones who already knows that she's in like cahoots with the vampire? So like her being in like weird, strange places would sort of make sense.
Here we go. We kidnap her, send a ransom note to Mr. Vampire, and then kill her.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Well, not actually kill her, but then it's like he's not involved. So he's not kidnapping her for his safety.
If they could intercept communications going to the vampire guy, he would already be dead.
No, like, it's news. She's rich. She's high class. She's been kidnapped. Oh, no. She's dead. Oh, no. How sad.
So this sounds like a good part for us to take our first break while you guys think about this and totally doing it for free, which is fine by me.
Yeah, I was going to point that out that we still haven't talked compensation yet.
I'm wondering if I can ask, do we get bonus if we also fake his death?
Or do we get a bonus if we actually do this cleanly, which will be code word for she survives?
Well, let's go ahead and take that break, and we can then finish up this and hopefully move into a plan quickly and performing said plan, and we'll see what happens. So I'll talk to you guys in like 5.
Okay.